caught me. I know, I've done it again. I've been to a garden centre. Hi,
welcome back to the Veg Plot Thickens. The violas, which will no doubt forever here be known as pansies by me, were 3 for £10. So obviously I had to buy 6 trays of those, and I think I just want to take a moment to appreciate just how intricate the pattern is on such a simple and cheap garden flower. And then I bought 5 cyclamens. They were £3.99 each, and I purposely chose the variegated leaf varieties because they're just more interesting, aren't they, especially when the plant is no longer in flower. Now, I've seen other people do this, so I'm going to give it a go, and that is planting a few things lightly on top of where I have my spring bulbs ready to come up. The spring bulbs should easily be able to push through these plants, which may well have largely finished before then anyway, but it will just give me a little bit of colour in these beds to enjoy until spring, won't it? So I'm only going to plant 4 because they will spread in each one, and I'll plant blocks of colour. So these ones, this one will have all of this pale one, and the other flower bed can have the darker ones. Just going to gently scratch, make sure I don't disturb any bulbs as best I can. I didn't uncover any there, so I'll hope they're planted deeper than that anyway. Shove them in. That's those in. Oh, that's going to look nice. I'll leave the rest there, and I'll take these blue ones to the other one. And again, I'm just going to put 4 in here. Nearly took my finger off then. These are such a vibrant colour. Ooh. Pretty good root system on them, even if it looks like I just tried to chop that one in half. Just press them all down now to firm them in. Oh, look at that. Nice bit of colour. Oh, I'm happy with that. And these remaining 4 I think would go quite nice in these little planters around the back of the polytunnel. Did seem like there might not be quite enough, so I'm going to put 1 more, I think, a little bit off centre, because I'm pretty certain there was a big bulb there in the middle. That made light work of 2 trays of plants, didn't it?
I'm going to put a lot of the daffodils and tulips in this wild border. Nothing really grows here apart from weeds. We are going to reclaim some of this border over the next 12 months. A lot of that's a winter project. I'm going to clean this off now. I'm going to plant 4, put some bark on top just to protect them a little bit, because cats do like to dig in here.
Well, that looks a bit of a mess still, but they are all planted now. It might work, you know. Oh God, stop. Guess I'm going to rake that and see if that's enough. That's the finished look. Hopefully we've not put it on too thick and the bulbs will still push through. We may thin it out if we think there's a problem. Those at the end there are some crocuses that have already come up. They've been up since late summer. The sun is just setting and I am across the plot with one of these, which is a wildlife camera. I've had a little bit of digging last night. The digging is in this area here, next to the polytunnel. You can see I don't know if you can tell on camera that the wood chip is a little bit roughed up. This is also next to the compost bins. So what I'm going to do is put this wildlife camera out tonight and see if we can pick anything up. We may have to consider putting a layer of bricks or slabs next to the polytunnel just so that nothing can dig right against it. So yeah, I'll keep you posted at the end of the video if we pick up anything. So all I need to do with this, I've undone the clips. I open it, turn it on, and while it's on, I pick where we can have it in setup. So I can pick where I want it, and if you can see that, I can pick where I want it to be pointing. You can see that, flick it on like this, and it will turn the screen off and go into setup mode. I think I'm going to place it here on the floor. And let's see what critters you pick up. Please be a squirrel. I don't know if that's better than a rat, but we are forecast a frost overnight, potentially. So I'm going to go ahead and drop these fleece covers. So there they are, all tucked up for the night, obviously when I've shut the door. He's feeding the livestock. Well then, good night, veg plot. Dumbledore, what are you doing out here? Bye then. The asparagus bed. It is drying up here, as you can see around the trees. The fig still has a little bit of water around it, but the main puddles are gone. What I can see though, some of the spring bulbs are coming up, aren't they? So they've not rotted yet. Don't judge me for the Christmas hat. My head was cold and it was just on the side. It does belong to Duncan. But look. Oh dear. It's too early for that. It's still November. We're in a hole in my head trying to find the button now. Oh, there you go. Wow. Well, that's a thing, isn't it? I'll go in the house with it like that. See what tomorrow brings. What are my plans for the morning? If it's dry, I'm going to finish sorting off this soil. Probably going to order 2 more bags. Those birds are loud, aren't they? Really do have plans to make this garden a bit more grand again. I don't want to go all out with huge grand plans, because obviously it's going to take a lot of time for me to keep the veg plot in order and to still be able to go away in my camper van with the dog. I'm a bit worried about how it's going to impact our ability to go away. So I just want to tidy it really and make it look a little bit more loved. It didn't look too bad, to be honest, this year, but the grass is quite long at the moment and all of the borders, but it's just been so wet that it hasn't had its final mow yet. Said I'd like to get those finished. That wasn't a lot of work for today, but I have put quite a bit more soil in here. I'm not going to fill this as high as the other asparagus bed, just in case I do put more asparagus in it next year, and then I'll need to put more muck when I make the ridges. I was able to top up that bed and the one further on a little bit as well, but I definitely need more compost. I thought you might like an update on the broad beans. Now, whilst nothing has completely come up, I'm not sure if you can see that, but the top of the soil is starting to be disturbed, and there is one bean just starting to pop up. But if you look underneath, there is some root growth happening. Not with all of them. These are the container-wise seed modules. So hopefully we'll have proper broad beans up soon. Can't see any sign of anything happening to the ones outside, but I'm assuming that they're setting roots down the same as these ones are in here. Look how beautiful it is today. Oh, I wouldn't mind an autumn and a winter like this. For those of you wondering what we caught in the wildlife camera that I set earlier in this episode, I'll insert the footage now. Yep, not great to have Roland rat wandering around, but you know, we live on a farm, so we know that there are rats and mice about here. I'm probably going to put some humane traps out along the side of the polytunnel, just because I don't want them damaging the actual plastic, because that is a huge job to have to change the cover if it gets terribly damaged. It seemed to be eating out of the wood chip, didn't it? Not quite sure what it was eating in the wood chip, but it was definitely getting a meal there. I'm going to leave this episode here now. I will insert a little bit of footage of me and Dexter wandering around the farm. I want to thank you all for watching and subscribing. We have now topped 500 subscribers, which blows my mind. Thank you very much to each and every one of you. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye. It's always going the wrong way. Hello.